What comes to your mind when you think about the word learning? Does it give you negative thoughts? Does it give you positive thoughts? Does it stress you out? Does it make you curious? What does it do? The reason I'm making this video today is simply because I want you to strive for lifelong learning. In this video, I'm going to cover and probably change your mind as to why you should start learning today. Let's just take a small glimpse of why it is important for self-improvement. Learning can help you stay up to date with the news, with what's going on in the world, with technology or whatever it may be. Everything that you want to know is out there. It keeps you up to date with the latest information. It helps you contribute to your professional success. You can do some degree or some certification that can help you acquire more skills. And once you acquire these skills, it can help you in your professional career. And lastly, it can help you in your personal development. You know, it's like intrinsic value. You know that this is going to benefit you internally some or the other way. And that's why you should take it. You should take learning as a lifelong goal, and it should be your part of your self-improvement journey. A few benefits or the reason you should be doing this, not only because of professional career, self-improvement, being up to date, no. But the more knowledge you have, the better it is, right? You're able to know about different things, about different subjects, about different topics. And when you talk to people, when you're in a conversation, when you're sharing your knowledge, people are going to see that. So it is beneficial to know more and more. The funny thing is, the more you learn, the more you feel like you don't know anything. That's the good part, right? So it's like you go deep into the learning, whatever it may be. There are different learning styles, all right? You have visual learners, you have audio learners, you have kinesthetic learners, or you have reading and writing learners. Now, visual learners are people who learn from graphs, from annotations, from visuals, because that's what catches their attention, right? And makes them understand what they're learning. Some people like to learn from audio. So audio could be your podcasts, it could be your audiobooks. Those people are more into listening. Those are two different senses, all right? From seeing to listening. Then comes kinesthetic. Now these kind of learners are learners who like to learn in the practical environment. They are the learners who like to be in the real life simulation, or they want to apply what they have learned in theory, and that's how they learned. They want to perform that and see, okay, is this the outcome? And that's how they learn. Lastly come people who are reading and writing learners. These are learners who take notes down, who read and who highlight what they're reading. So you need to first understand what kind of a learner are you, because this will directly help you to engage in more learning. It will help you understand. It will be exciting for you then, if you know what kind of a learner you are, because it makes it simpler for you. You would like to learn more then. So first you need to identify. Personally, I'm a visual learner. So I watch these videos and these graphics, and that's what helps me learn. Also, if you are a mix of all, then you're like a multimodal learner from each one of them, and you learn. You like audiobooks, you like podcasts, you like videos, you like graphs, you learn from actually applying those things. It could be all multimedia. multimodal. For me, it is personally visual, I believe, but I also do listen to audiobooks and stuff like that. Not a writing learner. I don't take notes down, but I do read as well. So I'll still classify myself as a visual learner, right? Because I do spend a lot of time on YouTube, of course, watching self-improvement videos, business videos, Alex Hermosi, and those kind of people. Now, there are different type of learning resources. There's no limit of information. The internet has helped us literally gain access to whatever we want and whatever information we need. It just takes you as a person to put an effort to actually go and discover the information. If your curiosity is there, you will go and discover the information. So you have your books, literally so many books covered on so many topics. Whatever topic interests you, you can literally go read a book about it, man. And indefinitely it will help you. Social platforms. Now, if you're following people who deliver content which is educational, then it's good. You can learn a lot from them. You have hours and hours worth of videos on these platforms that actually can benefit you. Of course, if you're just scrolling mindlessly, that's a different thing. But you have your podcasts. There are so many creators now, well-established creators in their own fields who are making podcasts, and there's so much to learn in them. Literally, there is a lot of information. You can go through anything that you want, any podcast. There's so many collabs as well. You will see a lot of your favorite podcasters or content creators are like collabing in the podcast. If it's valuable information, go and get it out there. Go. You have your documentaries as well. A lot of times you would like to watch a documentary of someone or about some situation, about something that you really want to understand. And you can go on and find it. You have educational websites as well. You can go today and get certifications, diplomas, certificates, what kind of things. Like literally, you can get everything you want. You pay some money, you learn the skill, and you get certified. That's all it takes. So it is out, or it is there. You just need to be able to identify what you learn, like what is your learning style, and then you need to find resources in that learning style. And you're good to go. Now, there will be challenges to this learning. That's always going to be there. You will feel demotivated. You will feel frustrated. You won't feel like doing it, procrastinating. You won't see the purpose of learning. And these come time to time. But these are roadblocks that you and me are supposed to go and overcome. There's reason they are there. They want to remind you how dedicated you are towards the learning. Are you that dedicated? Are you that serious about it? If you're not, you will drop it. So it's to test you. And these tests are important. You will realize if you're wasting time or not. That's cool, isn't it? For me personally, the strategy I use is for reading, I would say, because I was never a reader, never. I used to barely, other than just for school and university, I didn't read books at all. That was just for studying, So personal development, self-help books or whatever it is, I never read any of those. What I did was I tried to make my reading thing a habit. I wanted to actually be able to indulge in it. I wanted to become an avid reader, a learner from books. So what I did was I got an iPad. I had a choice between a few tablets, so I chose the iPad. And I got the books on iBooks, the books that I wanted to read, and that has a certain feature on it. It has like a streaks feature. So every day I read a book, it fills a streak in. All right. So in the start, I didn't really bother with it. I used to read like, even though I tried to make my habit interesting by getting the iPad out to make it attractive, I still wasn't reading as much. Right. I never paid attention to the streak thing. It really didn't bother me. But later on, when I read for a few accumulative days, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and after the fifth day, I was like, yo, the streak, I need to keep it alive. And then I kept reading, I kept reading. I still have my streak going. Whenever there is a slight doubt in my head, today I don't want to read, I'm like, yo, I'm going to lose my streak, man. Of course, that shouldn't be the only motivator, but when there's a streak, you're like, yeah, you worked hard for it, so you want to keep it alive. You want to keep moving forward. I don't want to start from day one. Even if you do, of course, it's fine, but I don't want to give myself the chance to. I want to read more and more and more. And then slowly, once that streak, you're keeping the streak on, you just fall into the habit, like you don't even bother with the streak anymore. And I'm getting to that stage as well soon. I know that. Where I won't be bothering with the streak, I'll just be reading, you know. It won't be for the streak. It will be just that I'm reading. Like, I won't need to use streak as an indicator to say that I'm a reader. And the best thing you can do is when you do feel it as a challenge, you can move through different types of information learning, right? So you can learn from YouTube videos, you can learn from podcasts, of course, depending on what kind of a learner you are. You can try different learning resources. So that won't get you like giving up. You know, you have your phone all the time. You can literally have all the apps on your phone and access learning so simple from there. So you just a matter of closing one app and opening the other one and be like, okay, yeah, now I can learn from here, you know. So try different learnings, see what you like. And once you have done enough of one and you want to change it, you can literally just watch podcasts then. Or listen to podcasts or audiobooks. If you're tired of literally reading the whole time, just to listen to audiobooks. Get the audiobook of that book which you are reading and then plug in your earphones and move. The most important thing would be that you are applying these learnings in real life. Now we have just spoken about why it's important for you, how it can benefit you, what kind of a learner you are. You need to identify that, what resources are out there for learning. Now you need to apply these learnings. That's the next stage. How what you have learned can benefit you into your life. So for example, if I'm reading any book and I find a particular aspect that I would like to demonstrate or include it in my life and see how the reaction is, you know. Maybe I would use something from Atomic Habits, or I would use something from The Way of the Superior Man, or I would use something from the book Man Up by Charles Sledge. In Man Up by Charles Sledge, by the way, I read this part and how I implemented it, I'll tell you as well. So he talks about body language and how to have a masculine body language. He says that you should have, you should be able to acquire space, not sitting, like crossing your arms or crossing your legs. You should be able to take space, not like a foolish person just taking space like that. No, that's not what I mean. But your presence should be there. The way you're looking, you know, which direction, eye contact. That's what I have been implementing. So I read this, I believe, last week only. And yesterday when I went out with my friend to just discuss some upcoming things in our lives, I was, just because I read and I had told myself I implement that body language, I was doing it. You need to be able to apply this. You know, if you learn something, How to Win Friends and Influence People, this book there, I believe along this line, which I need to read. I want to read that so bad. So that'll be my book as well, probably for this year, I believe. But in that book, there's so many concepts I know that you can use. So learn something from there and go try using it. If you learn something in Millionaire Fastlane, go see, test it out if it actually does work. Like, don't need to even test it. See, wow, if doing service globally does actually make you a lot of money. Things like that. You need to be able to apply what you're learning. If today I'm learning how to edit YouTube videos and I'm actually putting those learnings into my YouTube video, that means I'm applying them. You need to be able to apply what you're learning. Learning is the first step, right? But then when you apply it into your life is where the game changer happens. I could today read thousands of books and not even apply one thing. I could watch thousands of videos and not apply one thing. But what's the point? I've just have all this knowledge here stuck and I'm not putting it out there, or I'm not implementing it. I'll keep mentioning or repeating these people like Jay Shetty and everyone. Jay Shetty talks about service, right? We all know that. So how I applied it into my real life? By doing this. By making YouTube videos. By serving. Thinking differently of how I'm serving people in my day-to-day life. Learning for the sake of learning, but learning for the sake of learning and applying it in real life is where the game changer is. And this is what is lifelong learning. When you get a degree, when you get a skill, when you get a certification, and when you apply to a job with that certification, you're asked to demonstrate those skills that you have learned in the certification. You need to apply them. In my personal learning journey, there have been a lot of eye-openers. Things that I was struggling with has already been solved. If you take the time out, you will find answers when you read. You'll find knowledge and you'll find information. Literally, there's so much information out there about so many things. Like, just need to go and learn. For me personally, I would learn about what diet to have for the gym, what workouts to do in the gym, how I can implement discipline into my life, how I can make YouTube videos, how I can communicate with people better, how I can be assertive. All these through the books, online, whatever it is, even Reddit sometimes. Of course, not just wasting time and mindlessly scrolling on Reddit, but there are things out there which you can really learn from. There are specific groups, like there is a Reddit page for entrepreneurs who are trying multiple businesses, failing, success, what they learned, why they learned, what they did to overcome it, everything. My best personal learning journey would be simply watching informative videos on things that I want to solve in my life. Simple. If I'm looking at someone who has become successful in their life, I want to know what they're doing. So I had read the statistics, I'm not sure where, but it said that most of the rich people or millionaires or billionaires, not sure, but they do read for 30 minutes a day. So I started implementing it. Of course, I'm not a billionaire or a millionaire yet. I know what steps they take and what kind of life they have to live to be able to accommodate that. It could be as small as learning how to do a certain workout in the gym. But you go ahead and do it. And that's how I have improved myself, because you're learning continuously. Self-improvement requires you to be learning. from whichever resource it is. Don't need to be reading a book every time. It's good to do so, but if you're not into it, it's hard. I wasn't, then I got into it. So never say never. If I didn't learn certain situations, for example, at my job, I won't be able to tackle those things in real life as well. Maybe something in my job taught me, okay, this is how things are supposed to be done. And lastly, you need to be able to communicate what you have learned. Very important. It is the last stage. You should be able to communicate. So, I'm not saying you need to go tell the world what you have learned, but when you're amongst your friends with similar interests who are also on a self-improvement journey probably, you need to share your knowledge with them. Be like, hey bro, this is what I learned today. And this is how it is done. It can be simply learning about what search engine optimization is for the sake of it, man. But you shared with your friends, bro, this is what I learned about search engine optimization. This is what you do. And then they give you feedback. You give them feedback. You need to be able to engage your knowledge with these people around you as well, Discuss them. Not to be a geek or a nerd is not what I'm saying. And to go around and tell people, oh, I know this, and, have like self-pride and all of that, nothing like that. But be able to communicate and share your knowledge with people. That'll be the last stage, because once you've applied it and once you've seen the results, that you can tell people, hey bro, I learned about this is what I applied, and look, this was the outcome. So it does work. Or maybe you just read about it, Hey bro, I read about this. What do you think about it? Do you have the same opinion? Do you think this would work? Or, you know what? I know this would work because of this. So able to share your knowledge with people. What I want you to do after you watch this video, and if you have watched this video, good, you're learning about self-improvement. But I want you to go take time out today and learn about something that you really wanted to, or that you have been waiting to do. It could be anything. Maybe just Google it, go to education website and see what it is. Something that you wanted to learn about. Go and do it. Take some time out today and do it. That's what will make you happy and make me happy and make you feel fulfilled. And I know I'm doing my job well. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video, and always remember, do what the best version of yourself is doing right now. Think that way and be that way. I love you all.